What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Game Changers podcast. All right, Luke, there has been a lot of sports happening, obviously.
There has.
I need you to fill me in on human and animal sports, please.
Yes. So, first we'll talk about the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
The Derby was on
Horsies.
Saturday, and the it's 100. It was the 150th Derby this year, which is huge. So I trying to remember what the horse's name was. I literally just had it in my head.
Well, while you're trying to figure that out, I'm going to tell a little story. So on Saturday, I worked a double at work. It was graduation weekend. And so our bartenders, it was kind of slow in the morning. And so our bartenders put in $5 each. And some of them knew enough about the horse, enough about the Derby, but they put in $5 each, and they were watching the Derby the whole time. They put in I don't even know how they did it, but they basically put in all who they thought would win, and one of our bartenders won. He won what, $25? So super exciting. I would have guessed it for the fun names. Yep, I would have guessed it for the fun names.
The winner, it was a photo finish. I think it's one of the closest.
It was incredible.
Ever at the Derby, and the winner was Mystic Dan. He won, I think, by 1/2 of a second or something like that. Ridiculously close. He was 18-1 odds, and Sierra Leone was second at 9-2 odds, which I think was the best odds that were there. So it wasn't really a long shot, but it wasn't really the favorite. It was kind of in the middle. So that was huge. That was big. I don't know if they're confirmed for the Preakness yet, but if they're not, then they don't have a chance at the Triple Crown yet, because they're not competing in all three. But the fact that Mystic Dan won the Derby is huge for him and his owner.
Mystic Dan.
So
the photo finish was awesome. It was like that scene in Cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly, where he's driving backwards.
Yeah, where he's driving backwards and his tongue goes. Yeah, it was. Yep, that's exactly what it was. It was great.
Agree.
It was fun to watch. The amount of people that are invested in the Kentucky Derby is really cool to watch as well.
Oh my God, there's so many people there. It was absolutely absurd, the amount of people that go to the Derby.
And the fashion and
the fashion's crazy.
Hats. Yeah.
Every person I saw there was wearing a hat. It was all over Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wearing a hat.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was fun to watch it, and during the end of it, the roar of the people at our restaurant was insane. Crazy.
Yeah, I was Saturday. I was at a softball banquet.
Fun.
That was fun. But the speaking of softball, cool segue in. So yeah, I was at a softball banquet on Saturday. Segue into what I'm about to talk about. So the softball conference championships are this weekend. There has been some big news in the softball world. Consisting of Oklahoma, who's has three-peated in the last 3 years, and they, in other podcasts we did, I talked about how they lost 2 games, the first time in 4 years or whatever it was. Well, they lost the series to Oklahoma State, rivalry game, between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. It was at Oklahoma, and it was the first time in 18 years that they had lost a series at home, I believe. And it was the first time in 37 years that Oklahoma State has beaten Oklahoma in a series. So
wow.
Yeah, that was huge, and it dropped them 2 spots in the rankings. Which they're still going to host a regional. If they win the regional, they're still going to host a super. So it's not like it's a huge deal, but it's a big deal for the fact that they've not been outside of the top 2 in the last 4 years. So it's the first time they're outside of the top 2. They're now ranked fourth. Oklahoma State or Texas is 1, Oklahoma State's 2. Um, Tennessee's 3, and they're 4. So they got jumped by Tennessee and Oklahoma State because Tennessee beat a ranked Kentucky 3 games this week. So they got more
Wow.
points. But yeah, so that is going to be huge this weekend to see if they can still manage to win the Big 12 championship. Because if they don't, then that'll drop them even farther. They're still going to host, but it'll show that softball has more disparity in what's going on. So all of them are
Big
this weekend.
word.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself. I used it in context too.
You did spell it.
Don't even have no clue. So yeah, that'll be cool. CAA championship is in Wilmington. I was at the Delaware softball banquet this weekend. So they're going to Wilmington. And then there's an SEC game tonight, play-in game. That's between Kentucky, which is ranked still, and I think it's between Kentucky and Georgia or something. No, Georgia's ranked.
Well, that should be exciting.
Oh, Kentucky and Ole Miss is tonight.
Okay.
So that's on the network. But this is not coming out tonight. But you get my point. So yeah, all weekend. That's huge this weekend. Selection Sundays on Sunday, and then they have the baseball is not next week, but the week after, because baseball plays 56 games, so they have 2 more weekends, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, I think that's right.
But D3 is doing conference championships this week, so that's
Yay!
Johns Hopkins won our conference for baseball. So
Love that. That should be exciting.
But, yeah, so that's the college news. If you want to go to baseball and the MLB, we can.
I mean, why not? Go for it.
You watched the Orioles this week? They're on a 4-game win streak. They swept the Reds.
Yeah, and I mean, Gunnar Henderson's raking their starters.
No 4-game win streak. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Gunnar Henderson is raking, and the starters are, I mean, no hitting these teams.
Yeah, it's quite good. I think they threw like 1 or 2 hitters, all 3 starters, something like that. They didn't give up a run, the starters, I don't think. They threw 2 shutouts in a row, and they only gave up a run the other day because Craig Kimbrell gave up a run in the 9th. But no, they're playing really well. Pitching is great. Who were the starters? Cole Irvin, John Means, who was his first start of the year off of rehab assignment. He pitched great. It looked like he pitched when he threw his no-hitter, just had total command of his stuff. And then it was Dean Kramer on Sunday who threw a great game as well.
He did.
And the hitting is great. Like they're scoring enough runs to win. Pitching's doing their job. Bullpen's doing their job. So hopefully they can continue
doing so well. Yeah. I can't wait to watch
them. But then you look at the A's. The A's are on an 8 or 9 game winning streak right now.
I know.
They're 17 and 18, I believe.
They move locations, and apparently that
they haven't moved yet, but they're moving next year.
They haven't moved yet, but yeah.
No, they're moving to a AAA stadium next year, while their stadium in Vegas is going to get built. So
I feel like hearing that like built their confidence, you know?
Yeah, I think like I don't want to get too much into it because it's a controversial topic, but I think them leaving is the players want to play well for the fans still, like as much as the owner
and they
want
to have fans.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they want that loyalty.
Yeah. So I love that they're playing well. They started the streak when they played the Orioles. So
talk about being due for a win.
Yeah, exactly.
They're very due.
Yeah, and then there was some golf this weekend. It was the CJ Cup Byron Nelson that was in North Carolina, I believe.
New York.
North, yeah. That was won by Taylor Pendrith. That was his first career PGA Tour win.
Good for
He was 23,
Taylor.
23 under. He's from
Holy
Canada.
moly.
Yeah, he won it over crap, what was the guy's name?
Well,
He's a rookie this year, but I
while
can't
you're
remember his
thinking
name
of it.
off my head right now. But yeah, I will think of it and you can say what you were gonna say.
Oh, I was just gonna say that everyone in South Carolina makes fun of the way I say tournament. They're like, it's tournament. And I was like, no, that's TER.
It's tournament.
And so, yep, so hearing you
Tournament
say it makes me feel so much
makes
better.
you feel
I'm
a
like,
little
I'm
better about
pronouncing
yourself.
yes. I'm like, there's somebody else out there. Is it my brother? Yes, but there is somebody else out there. And honestly,
I think every other person in the state of Maryland will pronounce it the same way you and
that's what
I
I'm
do.
saying. I'm like, I'm pronouncing it. I'm pronouncing every vowel that is there. So,
Yeah. Yep.
all right,
But yeah,
wait.
there was
Did you?
I did. It was Ben. It wasn't. Well, Ben Knowles was the guy who missed a chip on the last hole, or missed an up and down on the last hole to lose the tournament, or to miss a playoff. Um, I don't know if you saw that or Dad and Mom mentioned it to you, but it was pretty big. The guy I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
it was Jake Knapp, but he finished eighth, so it doesn't really
Not really
didn't really.
close, yeah.
He was,
No.
I think, one shot back or tied for the lead
Wow.
on Saturday. But yeah, he needed to get up and down, or not up. I think he needed to get up and two putt to make the playoff. He flubbed his chip, chipped it again, missed his putt, lost by
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
So yeah, he still is going to make $1 million, but he missed his opportunity to make a playoff.
Yeah, I saw that. It was
Which would have
rough.
been anything is up for grabs in a playoff. So, sad
Poor
for him,
guy.
but I think he will be fine. He was Ben Knowles, I believe. But he should be fine. I think he'll win
Yeah,
sooner
he'll
or
be fine.
later.
He'll live.
But are we going to talk about the ones this week? There's two this weekend because this week there is a designated event, which is the PGA Tour's top new thing this year. It's top 60 players, Ace
Yay!
10 and Ion 5, which is a whole story I could go on for an hour about. But those are guys who get in, and then there are guys who win. Like last week, the guy who won will get in. Pendrith should get into this week's designated event. But there's two. So there's a designated event, which is a Wells Fargo Championship in North Carolina. And then the people who aren't in the Wells Fargo at the designated event get to play in a first ever tournament, which is in the Myrtle Beach Classic at the Dunes Club in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. And guess who's
And we
going?
are both going. So that'll be fun.
Hopefully I can
It's
go.
been
But yeah.
2 years since I've been to a golf tournament. I went to the FedEx Cup Championship in Atlanta 2 years ago when Rory won. And so that was fun. That's a gorgeous golf course. Would love to go again. Hopefully I can soon. Um, we used to go to the AT&T Championship at Congressional in DC because that was close to where we used to live.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. That was cool. That was Tiger's tournament.
Yeah.
Um,
I went
but
to
I've never.
the PGA President's Cup, but I didn't
Yes,
get
you
to
did.
watch any golf.
No, because you were
So
working a what was it, clothing thing or something like that?
yeah, it was through school.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch
But
some golf. So
yeah, that'll be fun. But I've never played it. It's a private, ultra private golf course. Dad's never played it. He's been invited, but he hasn't played it yet. Um, but I can't wait to see what it looks like. I've pretty much played every golf course in Myrtle Beach for the 3 years that we've now lived there. So I can't wait to see what it looks like as a private golf course in Myrtle.
yeah,
That'll
I'm
be fun.
excited.
I'm like 25, 30 minutes from the house. So that'll be awesome to go see.
Super exciting.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's coming up.
And let's just, I mean, we are Capitals fans, but Carolina
Yeah,
Canes, man.
I know the Hurricanes they're playing well. They did lose to the Rangers last night or the night before, I believe. They did lose 4-3, but they're trending up. So yeah, it'll be good. Also, Sid, you can cut this out real quick. My power's about to die on this computer, so I'm gonna cut
That's
this really
fine. I
short.
have to. Yep.
But yeah, I think that the Rangers are just too good. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody can really stop them at this point.
Yeah,
So
I have to agree with you. I mean, they
yeah,
swept the Caps, so.
yeah.
Though I think our guest is going to have quite a bit to say on that.
Yes, you will.
So yeah, so let's bring him on. All right, King. All right, so we are joined by Gamecock hockey player Tommy Locken. Welcome to the Game Changers podcast, Tommy.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me on.
All right, so where are we finding you right now?
Yeah, so right now I am currently moving out of my house right now, getting ready to head down to Charleston for a little bit until I start working my internship with the Nashville Predators this summer down in Bridgestone Arena downtown. Yeah, so pretty juiced for that. It's not too bad. Not too bad living on Broadway streets. Being pumped with that all summer. I'm gonna kind of enjoy these next couple of weeks, play some golf, hang out over there in Charleston, and yeah, just kind of go with the flow here these next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. Honestly, I feel like Luke can probably do the same. He would love to have that life. Golf, hockey.
Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. How did you get that job with the Preds?
Yeah, so actually, I figured I always wanted to be around in the professional sports industry, and a job opening actually popped up for the Washington Capitals. I'm from Washington, D.C., born and raised, so an opportunity popped up with the Caps, and I applied, and I ended up making it pretty far in the interview process, and I guess one of the emails kind of slid past me, and I didn't see it, and it happened to be the day after we won the national championship, and of course everything was all hectic, and obviously we had a situation back home, and I had to, long story short, sleeping through the final interview. So I was like, oh my god,
No.
I thought my life was over. I was like, of course this would happen to me, blah blah blah. And then, by the grace of God, I guess the Nashville one just popped up, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I was set on working at a restaurant or doing something that I was doing last summer, and yeah, I ended up doing really well and went through the whole interview process and ended up getting the job, and couldn't be more happier. So I'm pretty pumped for that, and
That's awesome.
that's about it.
Sleeping through the final interview.
Oh, I was like, of course. I was like, the one day the one day I could have the most important interview would be directly after,
So that was after the national championship?
Yeah, the day after we won it.
That's a good excuse. I can understand that because like you're all pumped up. You guys probably partied the whole night away, and like you're celebrating with the guys, and then you sleep in because you're tired.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I fired them an email. I was like, listen, guys, I'm so sorry. It's my dream internship. Please. No, it's cold turkey. No response back. So I kind of took that one on the shoulder, and it is what it is. I guess it all worked out in the end. So it's a funny story.
You're like, doesn't it mean anything that I won a national championship? Does that not mean anything?
I
can bring my national championship energy to you, to the organization. Let me pitch this to you.
I tried to send the email back, got cold turkey. They're like, yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you next year. So I was like, all right, whatever.
You're like, all right, fine. I'll find another job.
Yeah, so... Yeah.
So, are you a sport management major here?
No, I'm actually a hospitality major, and I never wanted to be in hospitality at all. But when I was leaving high school, I went to St. John's College High School, which is a prep school inside DC, and I don't know if you know quite how hockey works, but most players will take the whole juniors route, which means they'll take like 3 gap years after senior year of high school. they will play their whole. They're trying, work 3 years to get a college scholarship because, and I guess in hockey it takes extra time to develop. And so I was originally set on doing that. I was going to move down to Fort Worth, Texas, and play for a team down there. And it ended up not working out. And then my mom was like, you know what, you just got to go to school. So the only school I didn't really apply. I took the college process. I didn't think I was going to college straight out of high school. And I ended up getting into Michigan State, and I only got into there for the hospitality program. And my mom was like, it's a good school. Just go there. You can always switch your major and whatever if you don't like it. So I ended up going there, and it was fine. I loved my time there. The only reason I transferred was because it was too cold. It was, walking 40 minutes to class in April and negative 4 degrees. It's just, I was miserable. And I had a girlfriend who was down there who I went to high school with, and she was like, I'm going down to South Carolina this weekend actually to go visit a couple of her friends. She's like, you want to come with me? Because I had a couple buddies down here as well. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'll go ahead and do it. And because I also, chasing back a little bit, like the first couple weeks of school, I'd been seeing these cock hockey videos on my TikTok that it just kept popping up on my phone. And I was like, I'd hung my skates up. I was like, hockey was fun while it lasted. But the videos just kept coming up on my phone. And I was like, man, this looks like so much fun. Like, oh my, like they packed this place, like 1,000 people in this arena, like for club hockey. I was like, it's unheard of. So anyways, I went down with her. We flew down to Columbia. I ended up having the best weekend of my entire life, 10 times more fun than I ever had at Michigan State. And I was like, all right, whatever. So she actually ended up applying, and she was like, just apply, like whatever, just apply for, just for jokes. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't have a great GPA by any means, but I just applied as a joke, and then I got like the confetti in the email, and it was like, congratulations, like you've been accepted here. And I was like, Mom, I got accepted to South Carolina. Like, I loved it there. And we talked for a while, and yeah, I ended up getting in here to the hospitality program as well. I said the sport management program was full, so I ended up getting in here for hospitality. So, which was like blessing in disguise because I guess all my credits transferred over. But yeah, that's kind of the story about how I ended up here. And then I kind of tried out for hockey, ended up having a pretty killer tryout, and then just been the best decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Wow. What a story.
It's nuts. It's nuts. That's a story. Yeah, we grew up in all over. Yeah, we grew up in Severna Park in Maryland. So I have a couple friends that went to St. John's. Kid on my college team now went to St. John's. So it's not that far away from where we're from. I didn't know they had a hockey team, to be honest with you, though.
You guys probably know all the Archbishop Sullivan kids and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, how was the whole tryout process? Like, I know that like with other club teams, there aren't like coaches or like a coaching staff. It's usually player run. Is that the same way with the cock hockey team, or is it different?
It's a little bit. To be honest with you, I'd be lying if I said when I transferred here, I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. I was like, yeah, I played high level hockey my entire life. Also, having not touched the ice for a year and a half didn't help me at all. But I ended up getting down to tryouts to find out there's 80 kids trying out with me for 6 spots. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I got out there and realized the kids were a lot better than I had thought they were. And I kind of thought this was a joke, so I took it really lightly. But then I soon realized that, I was going to need to bust my ass a little bit if I wanted to make the team. And so the process was unlike anything I'd ever been through. Usually hockey tryouts are like a couple days. This was actually, the process was 2 weeks. And they had the first 2 ice sessions, then you'd play a game. And then they cut the field 75% after the first week. So then the second week, you're down to the last 25% of the kids. And then that second week, it's, 2 tryouts again. And then there's like a final game where they incorporate the kids that were already on the team last year. They throw them in, and you kind of just play an exhibition game that's, all the kids are in, and they just kind of see how you stack up against, the current guys that are on the team. And yeah, the coaches, some of the players will be integrated in throughout the tryout process, but usually all the coaches will be sitting, up above watching. So they're kind of evaluating you as you're going. Obviously, the players have a little bit of say in the guys that they think should make it based on what they're seeing. For me, I didn't find out until after the fact, but going into that final game, I wasn't even, my coach was like, yeah, you weren't even on our selection board. Like, we weren't even going to take you. And after the final game, I went out and tore it up, and they're like, yeah, and then ended up having a killer year, moved up from, fourth line all the way up to I was playing, second line, sometimes first line minutes towards the end, towards playoffs. And then obviously this year, I've, established my role on the team as a top guy. And yeah, it's just been awesome. I mean, just being able to play hockey at a high level down south is something, I never really dreamed of and never saw myself as, but yeah, I mean, works out for a reason,
Yeah, absolutely. So for those who don't know and don't go to University of South Carolina, can you explain a little bit about what the club team is like here? Because so when you think of a club team, you think of student run, laid back, but obviously you guys won a national championship.
Yeah.
So can you explain a little bit about what the difference is between like the stereotypical club team and what the cock hockey team is like?
Yeah, so ours, I mean, I tell people we have pretty much a pro setup going on here. I mean, we have almost 40 interns working for us, full time. Like, we have equipment managers to, merchandise team to marketing, ticket sales. I mean, the list goes on. Social media. It's just absurd. I'd like to think we have the best. I mean, we have almost 20,000 followers, which is beats out even, over 60% of actual NCAA Division I teams. I mean, I can't say enough great things about them. The stuff that they've done, just taken our program to the next level. I mean, it's been absurd. I mean, obviously, the advertising on those Blackhawks jerseys went absolutely nuts. I think we did over $350,000 in jersey sales or something.
Those jerseys are so fire too.
Something crazy like that. And it's just nuts being able to. I haven't seen that at any other school where you walk around and the majority of the jerseys. Even if you go to the fraternity lots, I'm sure you'll see 30 kids wearing these jerseys. Like it's just even when I'm walking around campus or whatever. Like it's just. I don't think any other school has that. And yeah, we are student run, but the work that's been done before me to take this program to the next level is, it's from everyone from Bobby to Chico, who's our president right now, to past guys. I know Cam Mecca was a huge guy that really established this program and took it to the next level. Mike Bolger. But it's just been gradual steps year by year. I guess my freshman year, so I transferred my sophomore year here, but I guess 2 years before, so the year before COVID, our seniors, so last year, the seniors, so guys that were 2 years older than me, I guess 2 years ago, there weren't even fans at the games. They had guys passing out flyers that were sitting outside of Russell House, and they were throwing out flyers saying, like, they were just wanted 100 people at the game. Like, they were like, guys, like, come on, like, let's get everyone down, like, sitting out there for hours each day, just handing out pamphlets before each game. And now it's gotten to the point where tickets sell out. I mean, we played Clemson this year. Tickets sold out in a minute and 6 seconds. Like it's just absurd, and I just don't think any other club team kind of does it like us. Like it's kind of hard to put into words because I don't really know what other teams do. But speaking on our standpoint, like it's just the work that goes in behind the scenes. I don't think anyone works harder behind the scenes than what we do. I mean, we're on the ice, twice, sometimes 3 times a week. We still play a full. I mean, people think club hockey, they're like, oh, they just play a game or 2 every week. Like we play almost 40 games a year. Like,
wow,
just about what every single NCAA
and
Division
honestly,
I team goes through. And I mean, it's just been awesome. I mean, I've loved my time here. It's been, like I said, the best decision I've ever made, and I'm hoping for big things next year as well too.
So will you be a senior next year?
I will be a senior next year. So
nice.
I'm interested.
So did you play? Did you play in the national championship game?
I did not. I went down.
Really?
I got hurt in the first game, so I dislocated my shoulder late February against Alabama, and then came back, was playing on a bad shoulder, even in the national tournament. So I was trying to, stay a little cautious. And the first game I went down with a high ankle sprain. So that was that. And then which is funny because actually last year during the national championship on the first game of the tournament, same period, same sheet of ice, I had a high ankle sprain on the same exact ankle. So now we have an inside joke on our, with our coach that, if we play in the national championship, I'm not playing, or if we play in the national tournament, I'm not playing the first game. So
No, it's bad.
So-
It's bad karma.
so yeah, I didn't play, but I was enjoying a couple of bat blues from the bar in the arena, sweating out the boys' win. So no, it was awesome. I had a great time.
Hey, you know what? Team player. I honestly, you can
I know.
celebrate as a team.
Yeah, I know. So which sucked too because both of my line mates, ended up getting hurt too. So our
Dang.
whole line was out for the whole
Mhm.
tournament. We all got hurt in the first game, so that kind of sucked. And to be honest with you, that brought the team like losing two top guys like that. We have no chance. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, the guys didn't think that, but you could tell like there's something off about the energy in the room. They're like, shoot, like.
Oh yeah. I mean,
these two
honestly, in
go
any
down,
sport, yeah.
Which was, I mean, I will probably get into it later in the episode, but our, third and fourth line guys stepped up tremendously and played some of the best hockey I've ever seen in my entire life. And yeah, ended up getting the job done for us. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I understand that losing one of your top line guys is tough, but then when you lose two and then the entire line, then you're searching for your second line guys. Then got to move up. Everybody moves up, and then your fourth line's guys who haven't really been playing. So yeah, that's got to be tough. And then to still win it is
then we call
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, we had our
yeah.
Luckily, we carry about usually 3 to 4 healthy scratches too, so we're able to throw those guys in as well, integrate them in the lineup. So
I think it just speaks volumes to the fact that like I've been to a few of the games, and for those that don't know, it's not on campus, so like you have to drive to go to a game. But the environment there feels like a pro hockey game. It's run like a pro hockey team. And like the fact that y'all stepped up and got a national championship speaks volumes to the whole organization and how it's run. It's very serious. I mean, losing any player in any sport that's a starter, that's a first line guy is it brings the morale down. It means everybody else has to stand up. The energy is a little bit different. And the fact that you guys still won is awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think that the energy, the positivity, the morale, the hard work comes from your coaching staff? Do you think that it's from the top down?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously not a lot of people know. They think our coach is just, some dude that grew up in South Carolina his whole life and never was a high level hockey player and is just volunteering his time to coach. So this guy that's the complete wrong narrative. This guy is from he's from I don't want to butcher his hometown, but he's from Canada. Played high level hockey his whole life growing up. Then he ended up playing for Rimouski, which is a team in the I'm blanking on the name. I think it's the QMJHL, I believe is what it is. And he ended up setting the franchise record there in points, and actually has his jersey retired next to Sidney Crosby, who, even if you don't play hockey, you still know who Sidney Crosby is. Arguably one of the greatest hockey players of all time. So, he's got his jersey retired right next to Crosby's and ended up going on to play pro. He had a pro career for, I think, almost 15 years. Played in everywhere from the ECHL to the AHL to the SPHL and whatnot. So, I mean, he was he was a smidge from the NHL, if that gives you any perspective of, the kind of hockey player he was, which is very hard to do. And, I think just coming in, especially me, I really appreciate him too, because I had the same role as him. He was used to be a skill guy until he got to that next level, and then you could tell he was like a Swiss Army knife, which is what I like to compare myself as. I can play on both sides of the puck. I can throw the body. I can get gritty in front when you need me, but I can also, get you a couple goals and, show off some stylish plays. But he's the best coach, I've ever played for in my entire life. Just the work ethic and the energy he brings to practice every day. He's always pumped, to be at the rink. He still plays men's league here at the rink in Irmo. And yeah, dude, he just pushes us every day. And you could tell, I mean, he came to this program when this program was dirt. When I mean, two people were in the crowd, and the caliber of guys on the team were just, it was like a house league team, and it was a joke, and no one really cared about it. And he took that job, wasn't getting paid anything, was just doing it, for volunteer. And now, I always tell, we talk about on the team, I think in the next 5 to 7 years, I think South Carolina is going to have an NCAA Division One, program with a rink on campus, which is going to suck to not be there for it. And I think,
you can come back and watch.
Yeah. I can say I was an alumni.
Alumni, yeah.
Like, wasn't it club ball you played? Like, no.
You're like, no, it totally wasn't. Listen, we marked this for you.
Yeah. So, and obviously, national championship helps a bunch with that because, obviously we're not affiliated with the school. The school doesn't help us out whatsoever. And we're not associated with the school at all. That's why we can't use, the school's logo or anything like that. And that's how we came up with the Cox logo. But yeah, I mean, I would say, his work has been awesome. And it was, nothing made the guys happier on the team, than, him winning that national championship. You could just see, the tears of joy on his face. I mean, he's been working so long and so hard at this, and, everything's he's kind of getting his flowers now, and everything's kind of, paying off. And I'm so happy to, see him. And I think it's only going to go up from here. I mean, next year, we're only going to have 4 open spots next year. And I think there's like, I would be lying if I mean, I think there's over 100 and something kids, and to the point where we had to establish we actually have a Division III team this year. So we have, there'll be 2 teams this year, with obviously a ton of kids still getting caught. But yeah, we'll see. It's been a whole whirlwind. But yeah, to answer your question, 100% starts from the top, and we all love him, and just the energy that he brings to the rink is just unmatched and pushes us to go harder every day as well. So
yeah. Well, to put it in perspective, so I work part-time at Market on Main, and they had well, first of all, the place was packed for the national championship. Talk about jerseys. It was full of cock hockey jerseys, and they were sitting at the bar. It was on our big screen. It was a watch party. It felt like a game day for football. It was awesome. And also, so a few weeks ago, they kind of rented out like half our restaurant, and they brought their 35-pound national championship trophy, put it out there, and there were a bunch of so-called, like, I guess, recruits. And to see them, so they ended, and it took probably an hour and a half your head coach talked to each individual high schooler and asked them about themselves and had a whole conversation. And it's really refreshing to see a coach, one, like you said, put in so much time, and it's really hard to see something like start from scratch. When it's really hard to see the future, be like, oh yeah, it is gonna, like, I'm sure he didn't see it getting to a national championship at least this soon, but he got there. And talking with him, he is so humble, and like, you guys won a national championship, he's ready for the next one. He's like, yeah, we're just getting back to work. Like, we have recruits that we have to build our team. We have tryouts that we got to do. And then every single day we got to, it was really nice to talk to him. And I'm excited to see where the program goes as well, for sure. I'm ready for a rink on campus. That's what I'm saying.
We all would be. I mean, so we were trying to get a game at Colonial Life Arena. I guess we had pitched it to the school, and they ended up agreeing to it, but the cost of that was, north of $250,000 for one game. And then we inquired about getting an outdoor game at Williams-Brice against Clemson, and we would have had to put up $1 million up front or something absurd like that. Yeah, it was a high number. So it just sucks. Yeah. I think, at least for us, what I want to do before I leave, I don't know if it's going to get done next year. I could definitely see it in the year after I leave, but we've been pushing for a game at the Coliseum at least, just to, kind of, because they have the materials. There used to be an old pro team that played in Columbia a couple years back, so they have the material to make ice. It's just a matter of setting it up. Mm-hmm. But, it kind of would just go to show the school if just to see how popular we are on campus. I don't know off the top of your head. Do you know how much the Coliseum holds capacity wise?
Definitely less than
Or would you
Colonial
say like a
Life.
ballpark, like maybe 12,000, like 13?
Yeah,
maybe?
I think that's pretty accurate.
Is that fair to say? So,
Mhm.
they asked for an estimate of if we had one game on campus that's never been done before, if we played Clemson on campus, like how many people do you think would show up for that game? In your opinion, how many people do you think would show up to that game?
I think it'd be packed. I think there wouldn't be a seat between parents. Like if you had one game, I
One
can
game.
see people.
It's just
One
one game.
game, right?
It's never been done before. It's not like it's a consistent.
Right. I see parents and family like flying down from all over the place. So that's probably half, if not even like a third. Then you have all of your supporters. I think you could easily. I think it would take about 5 minutes for it to sell out.
Yeah, we said. We gave them a number. We said 7,500 people, and that was just us lowballing. That's just banking on it just being 50% full. And I don't know if they thought we could have even done that, but I just like on campus, I think it would have gone nuts. I think people would be so juiced.
Absolutely.
Just to see hockey on campus. So that's something in the future. I hope that the school will help us out on a little bit.
Well, especially since there are so many people from the north here, they would love the hockey.
Oh yeah.
Is this in Charleston? The Coliseum that you guys are talking about?
No. This is actually the Carolina Coliseum. No, it's actually on campus as well. It's right next to Colonial Life Arena.
Because I know I'm a diehard Caps fan, so like I know the South Carolina Stingrays are their ECHL team, and they play in the North Carolina Coliseum or North Charleston Coliseum. So I don't know if that was the same one you guys are talking about, but because I've only been to South Carolina once to see her, but yeah. But I think that would be
good brother.
That would. I don't like cities, so I don't go and visit much. But I think that would be a great thing to get you guys to play at not an actual arena, but like a larger arena to really showcase to the school and the NCAA that you guys are worthy of getting promoted. And being school sanctioned.
Well, honestly, it's pretty damn close to it's a Coliseum. We used to, before Colonial Life was here, the basketball team played there. So it fits. It's just old. So it's right next. It's right near Colonial Life. The amount of people that go to basketball games, I think you could easily get the same. But it would, a lot.
Because we play the game every year at Bon Secours Arena, and Greenville, and that holds. It holds 14,000, but it's in Greenville, so it's tough for. We do it on a neutral site, so it's in between kind of us and Clemson, and we're probably, I think this year we did like 3,000, but Clemson, 2,700 of that was our fans, so it's like people commute in an hour 45 to come watch us play, and like 2,700 people, like. I don't know, on campus, especially with all the students that, can't get access to cars, especially freshmen and all that can walk and don't have to travel. And the people that don't want to travel 20, 25 minutes to the rink, right there for them. So we'll see. Hopefully that's something in the future that we can get going. So that'd be awesome. I'm sure all the boys would be juiced for that.
Oh, I think the whole school would be.
It'd be sweet.
Yeah. They're, if you haven't checked out their Instagram, definitely check out their Instagram. It's y'all's interns really know what they're doing. I think half the battle with any sort of promotion or marketing for a sports organization is absolutely social media. It builds fans. The fact that y'all have 20,000 followers speaks volumes. So I totally think that they're doing a really great job. And so now that y'all have won a national championship, what does that? Do you have any guys that are looking to go pro, or does it kind of end here for them?
No, I think it's all ending here. I think there's a very select guys that could make that jump if they wanted to. I think none of the guys. So hockey, how it works is there's 5 tiers. There's the NHL, AHL, ECHL, SPHL, and the FPHL. So obviously playing club hockey, a lot of your guys are either going to go to the FPHL or the SPHL, which is still high level hockey. You still get paid to play, still technically pro. But it's not great hockey. I mean, you make, dog food money. You got to work a second job. Yes, there's guys in our league that make that jump, but that's usually because they don't got enough, cap space up there in their brain to be able to go out and work a 9 to 5. So I don't know. I think if enough guys wanted to, if a select guys wanted to do it for like a year or two, I could see a couple of our guys. I don't think, talking to everyone, I think everyone's just going to go about their own ways and get into the workforce. And that's usually what a majority of the people do at this level. So yeah, I can't tell you.
I mean, come to school so like Luke plays baseball at a D3 school. And he's continuing.
What school is he
Go
at?
ahead, Luke. Oh, his mic's off. He
I play at Washington College on the Eastern Shore.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. So, but he plays there, and he's 4 more years of baseball and getting an education. So then eventually he'll go into the workforce. So I feel like it's very similar, like obviously coming from the North, you're coming for an education. And now that, cock hockey's on the map, it's even more of an attractive option. But it's for people who love the sport like you, where you just have a passion for hockey and want to have fun while doing it, which is great. What do you see yourself doing once you graduate next year?
Oh man,
if you've thought that far.
Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully to work for a pro sports team. I think working for the Preds too is going to open up a lot of doors, either with them or with whatever other pro teams I'm able to scout out and figure out. Location's big for me. I want to know while I'm young, I want to be able to go out and travel around, visit some places. I love like the Dallas area, Nashville, even Charleston. I love it down there. I lived there last summer. Something opened up in Boston. I think Boston's a great little sports town up there. I'd love to spend a summer up there, settle down there for a little bit. I kind of want to get out of DC.
In the summer's beautiful. Yeah, I'm sure.
I want to get out of DC. It's just growing up there. I need a little break.
We feel the same way.
Yeah, it's a little too much for me. I'm just kind of sick and tired of it now. But I love the South. I don't know, just like coming down, like I'm doing stuff, I never would have thought of myself doing in DC, like going out, you got buddies that want to go out hunting, you can go do that. Well, I've never hunted before in my entire life. You go out fishing, you can go out, like someone's got a boat, you take the boat out, do whatever. Like it's just a different way of life. I feel like up in Maryland, like I guess depending on what part of Maryland you're from, but where I'm from, like it's just like I'm a city kid going to private school, just doing all, that type of stuff, going to practice every day. And it's just, it's kind of cool being able to switch around and do, get a break from all the inner city life and being able to come down here to a place like South Carolina and just kind of exploring, what it all has to offer. And that's something, I love.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I personally wanted to leave Maryland as well, and not because I didn't like it, but also for a new way of life. Meet new people, like you said with hunting. I've never hunted in my life, and the fact that people do that on the weekends,
it's like nuts.
Right? Like I can't wrap my head around it. But they do, and it's so many people here, and while there are a lot, especially in the hospitality, retail and sport management school, there's a lot of people from like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Maryland,
Philadelphia, all that.
Right, everywhere. I feel like we've taken over half of the campus, but it is a totally different way of life. Sports are different here. Like everything's different. Internships are different here. Did you did you scout out these internships yourself, or did you go through the South Carolina program?
No, yeah, I just kind of scouted out myself. I probably fired off like 100 applications. I was going to, I think, a Teamwork Online where I like the sports, kind of stuff.
It's my favorite place ever.
The best. I was just refreshing it every day, just firing off, 15 a day. And I probably heard back from like maybe 3 or 4 of them, and one of them happened to be Nashville. So it's kind of fired up did that. But yeah, that was to the extent that was the extent I did on my internship applications. It was all pro sports teams, and I never wanted to work in restaurants, hotels, any of that type stuff. There's no money unless you're a very select few. There's really not that much money to be made in this type of industry. So
yeah, I'm just doing it to make some extra money so that I can pay for those non-paid internships in sports.
Yeah.
What is your
what are the Predators having you do? What's the internship? Like, will you be living in Nashville, or is it like a remote internship?
No, yeah. So I'm gonna be living. I'm actually. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Nashville before, downtown. So I'm actually living right next to Miranda Lambert's. So I'll be right on Broadway Street down there in a little 1-bedroom apartment. I'll be doing that, and the internship's actually it's a guest experiences internship. So I'm kind of talking with season ticket holders, just kind of figuring out what the Predators can do better as an organization to optimize fan experience. Kind of making changes throughout the stadium, making sure everyone's happy. I'll probably be overseeing some event and concert operations as well. So, which is sweet because I'll be able to go to hopefully the Preds can get past this round by time when I get down there, so I can go see a couple games. But just being able to, since it is unpaid, you do get, certain benefits. Like I'll get to go to Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs and Chris Stapleton and all the country artists that go through Bridgestone. I'll be able to, go to that for free. And yeah, just kind of going through it's more day-to-day operations, fan experience, guest experience, working with season ticket holders. Like I said, just making sure, everyone's happy and making sure we're attracting, and reaching out to new people that possibly, want to be season ticket holders, and just kind of what goes into making Bridgestone Arena such a fun place to play in every night, and making sure we're always improving things. So I'll be pumped for that.
Absolutely. And you know what? The Predators are going to be on your resume. And so, and honestly, that's awesome. Do you have any, I guess, like going into the internship, do you have any ideas on how to, like, is guest experience something that you know anything about?
No, I know absolutely nothing about, but the only reason I feel like I got the job is because I'm really good with, talking to people. I'm a funny guy. I like to crack jokes and make jokes, and I'm always like the clown on the hockey team. I always just like to make people laugh, and I'll run my mouth to the other team. In hockey, we call it chirping. So I love to I love to dish it a little bit out there. And yeah, I don't know. I just figured, they're like, the first question they asked in the internship was, can you talk to people? Are you good at it? And I was like, I'd like to think so. I was like,
you're like, shutting me up is the issue.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty good at it. At least I think so. And then, yeah, from there, it's just been, kind of a whirlwind. I've just been so busy these past couple of weeks, just trying to get everything in order, figuring out, apartment stuff, getting, finishing out the season, trying to clear out my locker, trying to look for guys next year that are coming in and speak to these new guys coming in. So I'll be pumped for that. I think by the time, hopefully I got to try and find some time to skate this summer. Because last year I didn't do a very great job of that, and I was kind of sucking wind for the first couple of weeks. So, yeah.
You see yourself being a leader next year on the team?
I thought so. I guess not. I thought I was going to get a letter next year. I'd like to think I'm a pretty vocal guy on the bench. I'm the one that gives like a pep talk before the periods, and everyone gets together. I get the boys fired up for a little bit, and then go to find out we're in the car yesterday. One of my buddies like, yeah, coach sent me the captains next year. It's so and so. And I was like, oh, damn. I was like, all right, whatever. But I could definitely see why I'm not. But it's just
undocumented leader.
Yeah. when things are going well, I'm the best person in the entire world to be with. But when shit hits the fan, it's might be the worst.
Perfect. You're there
Yeah,
when they
just-
need it. So
Yeah, I'm just riding the emotions. So
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
so no, not at all. All right. So I think my last question is: so obviously the playoffs are underway. Do you have someone you think's what team you think's gonna pull through and take the
I
Stanley
thought the
home?
Caps and they got goose
I
eggs,
know.
but I don't know. I really think the Hurricanes are the best team in the league right now. They look so good right now. It's just unbelievable. I mean, they got a wagon behind them, picking up Kuznetsov and Gensel too in the offseason. Like they're just they have 9 first or second line players on their roster, just on the forward side, and their D side's nuts. There's no reason why they shouldn't at least make the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, they're stacked completely.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I told her on the last episode we did. Last two, I said them and either the Rangers. I think it's going to be them and the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final. But when they picked up Kuznets, huge thing for him. But I feel like he's become a second, like he's found his second wave of loving the game because when he went the last 2 years, the Caps was horrible. But I think that they have too many good players to lose. Like your second and third line guys could be second and first line guys on other teams.
Yeah.
So like 100%. I think that'll win. I don't really think a Western Conference team's that good, to be honest with you. But maybe 10.
I think I was gonna say Edmonton. I have Edmonton, Carolina in the final, so I could definitely see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I'm excited to see who wins.
I'm excited
it's
too.
It's so fun to watch. I've only been to a handful of pro hockey games, just because of schedule purposes, but there's nothing like it. And watching it on TV just doesn't even scratch the surface, but it is still fun to watch.
I know. I'd kill to play in a playoff game. It's supposed to be my second playoffs watch this year besides ours, so I've been doing a lot of watching. So
yeah. Does it just make you want to skate?
It does. I'm still kind of bad on this high ankle sprain. I mean, hopefully.
Sprains are ugly. I swear they're worse than broken bones.
It was brutal. I mean, I tried to go out. I tried to get back out there for the Niagara game. I tried to it was on so many pain medications and getting tape and all this stuff. And I tried to get out there for the Niagara game because obviously that was our last game of pool play in the tournament. And, they were the second best team in the tournament out of the 16 teams that were there. And I was like, we can't lose this game. And I tried to go out for warm-ups and it felt like I just had marbles just clinking around in my foot. And I was like, yeah, it's just not going to be okay. Then I made the decision to get off. And then that game was the best hockey game I've ever watched in club hockey history, I would say.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was just a battle. They scored with 2 seconds off to put it into OT, and then we go and get that OT winner just to go on and play Tampa, who's the 1 seed, and then went down 3-0 quick, and then ended up winning 6-4. Like it was just the whole tournament. That run was nuts.
Yeah, it was some pro energy. Like there was.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was some energy. Well, I'm excited for the next season, and hopefully there's even more fans there and even more energy.
I hope that would be awesome.
Y'all got some more talent coming up.
Yeah, we do. The guys coming in next year. We obviously know kind of the guys we're getting in, and the guys have reached out to us in the caliber. I can tell you, our team next year is going to be our team this year on steroids. It's going to be ridiculous. I mean, we have Division III transfers coming in from Boston to guys aging out of juniors playing in Texas. Like there's like we're gonna have a couple of, I'm sure, 22-year-old freshmen and all that type stuff. But yeah, like our program's gonna be pretty set for the next couple of years. So I'm super excited for next year. Excited to get this roster together and just kind of get into the thick of things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited and I can't wait to watch. But we really appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah. And good luck with your internship.
Thank
maybe
you.
Maybe one day we'll see you on the Predators
directory.
Day.
One day, if they If a couple guys get hurt in playoff, I need someone to step up. I'll make sure I'm my gear there. Just
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You'll be the
that
hype man.
emergency goalie type energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll serve the 19th forward if anyone needs that.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever works. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Really
I
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.